Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Trading Table. This is Andrew, and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest movers of the market, what to watch for tomorrow, and more. Looking at our heat map here, we can see market was pretty choppy today, right? NVIDIA did have its run down, but did recover near end of day. Apple up 2%, Amazon 3%, Tesla 4%, right? Great day for those large caps. Not so great for everything else, though. Pretty choppy day. Not a whole lot going on. I mean, it's another one of those days, right? Looking at SPY's chart here, you can kind of see evidence of the choppiness. SPY only finished up 0.12, but at any given time, it was pretty low, pretty high. So there was plays to be made throughout the day where, certain areas experienced more volatility than others, right? But if you guys haven't already, be sure to copy down my levels for SPY, as it's a great way to play SPY and kind of get information of what the market is going to do, right? So you see these support and resistance levels. These are very, very useful to, just have a sense of market structure. And we have a whole video on that, on how we get these. But, just to save you the time and effort, boom, you got your levels right here. SPY is down in the aftermarket, however. So it could be an interesting day tomorrow, and I'm excited to see what tomorrow brings. Looking at, Tesla, which had a great run up today. Tesla is kind of riding a hype train. Rivian had some bullish news, and, that means great for all EVs, right? Looking at RIVN, Rivian's chart right here, we can see huge gap up, right? Rivian had quite a lot of volatility today. Options premiums were at like 100 and something percent implied volatility. So, Rivian, I could see it come back down. This was just a huge hype train, and that's exactly what it seems to be doing. That's exactly what it kind of did today. So just be on the lookout for that, and, don't get too crazy with Tesla, as you know that they can move quite a bit in a short amount of time. Tesla's like a really volatile stock. I've seen people make a lot. I've seen people lose a lot on Tesla, and, just got to be careful there with those higher volatility stocks. Looking at our VIX, though, we are back down to 12.5. So definitely not going to be seeing a lot of short-term volatility tomorrow, right? But just looking at our, one of our plays here, right? This Intel play, this 32 call with 1.5 million premiums. I briefly mentioned in the last video that, Intel has a lot of money in it already, and there's just more and more flowing in, and it's all to the upside, right? So I did pick up Intel in this little dip today. It did dip below more, but it's currently up in the aftermarket. So, excited to see where Intel goes here. And if we jump out to a month chart, right, we've been chopping around quite a bit at this, this level, you could say, between 3148 and 3018 for quite some time now. So this makes for a great risk-reward ratio play. And I'm really liking Intel to the upside, right? I'm keeping my stop loss relatively tight around like the low of month. So even if it dips below like the 30 area, that's not, you're not losing too much on that just because of the entry. But definitely join our Discord because, this was called out by the bot and we took entry today. So it's very important that, you're staying up to date because you don't want to enter, at the peak and then it's, just the option won't move how you want it to, right? You're just going to be down most of the time. But, I got my targets here set up for Intel, right? My target prices. So I'm going to be watching Intel very closely tomorrow. And it kind of banks on NVIDIA doing well, right? NVIDIA had a very steep downtrend this past week, but it seems to be recovering very, very well from that downtrend, right? We're already back up, right? We're definitely not in a downtrend anymore. So, NVIDIA, it's a global leader. They're basically monopolizing their sector right now. It's a great time to be in NVIDIA, especially if you bought this dip down here. I picked up some SMH down here, which is an ETF that tracks semiconductors. So if we go ahead and jump over to SMH real quick, we can see, they follow NVIDIA almost 1-to-1. So it's just a little bit less risk because you have a lot of other things weighing SMH. You got like AMD, you've got Avgo, you've got a whole bunch of stuff, kind of weighting SMH. So you're not getting a whole lot of exposure to the volatility from that NVIDIA gives, but you're getting a good exposure to the market as a whole. Really love SMH to both day trade and long-term trade. But, Tech as a whole has been just firing recently. Microsoft is, doing great. Apple is just holding itself up above this 200 level. And, we are at just about all-time highs on Apple. We are below the previous high it made on, June 12th, but we're not far from it. And this was kind of a hype train. So I really like the level that Apple's sitting at right now. And I'm confident that Apple can hold this level, especially with the announcement of all their AI and whatnot. But, looking at PDD, unfortunately, did stop out of this trade today. I will be looking to re-enter because I'm just so bullish on PDD. It's so unfortunate that this stock is on a downtrend. That's just some of the risk that comes with this, right? And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that there's no risk. Obviously, there's risk with trading options. You just got to manage it. And, got out of PDD for a minimal loss. And good thing we did because it just downtrended all day. It currently is in, if we look at this article right here, it's down 7 consecutive days, and this is its longest losing streak since April 2023. Today, I believe, confirmed it. So, not the best day for PDD, not the best week. But, last I checked, big money's still in. I'm going to be checking tomorrow at open. I'm kind of curious to see how they play these with their stop losses. It's kind of funny to me almost how some of them just hold forever. Like, we had the KWeb big money investor. They didn't stop out till like KWeb was down 45%, which is just absurd to me that they're playing with that much money and willing to lose that much. But, sometimes they're wrong. You can't predict the market. They definitely know something, though. So if they're still in, I'll keep PDD on the watch list. But for now, I'm staying on the sidelines, and you guys definitely should as well, just so until it breaks out of this, downtrend here. But, yeah, PDD, always going to be bullish on it. I think it's great. It's basically like the Amazon of China. They're holdings. They own Temu. They're like kind of like a competitor with Baba. So PDD, just, keep an eye on it, right? I'm not fully giving up hope yet. We did have only one big money trade today, and that was Tesla, which is very interesting. This big money play is kind of the weirdest one I've seen in a very, very long time. This expires in 2 days. And it got filed today. It's a 190 call, so they bought in the money. There's $1.4 million there, and there's 6,000 volume. So, whoever this investor is really likes Tesla. But I guess, they're just playing this hype train that's behind Tesla. So it only has 2 more days on it, so I wouldn't really recommend this. This is definitely the most risky play we've ever had. So just keep an eye on it, right? But just to go over some of our old plays, we have FXI puts. And per usual, they just chopped out. FXI doesn't really move that much with, the exception of these days where it just gaps up sometimes. It's, FXI is just, it's one of those stocks that moves pretty slowly. Not a whole lot of volatility at all times. But, yeah, the bot called this yesterday. And, definitely not good signs in pre-market and aftermarket there with that gap up. But, they're still in. So just keep an eye on it, right? We do have Dash. So DoorDash, right? We do have calls. Those did not do the best today. Big money hasn't really been hitting recently, but, what are you going to do, right? They were up for a period of time today. Nowhere up as near as yesterday, though. Yesterday would have been a great place to, hop out. And by no means am I saying, drop everything and hop into these trades that we're, giving out, because sometimes they don't work out. And that's just how it is, right? Bitcoin is trying to recover. For all you crypto guys out there, Bitcoin is trying to recover. Definitely not having an easy time, though. It's been pretty volatile these last few days. We saw a low all the way down here of 58,456, which is insane. I'd say if you didn't buy this dip, just relax a little bit. But definitely a good dip right here into Bitcoin. So, just keep an eye on Bitcoin. And there's also talks of an Ethereum ETF being approved near July 4th. So Ethereum, I'm telling you right now, if an ETF gets approved, you're going to see this thing fly up. I mean, just absolutely take off, right? We were testing like the 4,000 area not too long ago. Definitely did not break through, but that would not be a new area for it to get to, right? Ethereum has broke through the 4,000 area before, so just keep an eye on it. Definitely can be very good there with Ethereum. And you definitely want to stay attentive in this market as a lot of things are going on right now. AMD's just having trouble staying above 160, which kind of sucks because I really like AMD. They make pretty good processors. I got one in my computer. I know Landon has one in his computer. But, AMD made nice highs, like very, very nice highs not too long ago. Back in March, we were all the way up at around way past the 200 area. And now it's at 150. So definitely not NVIDIA over here, who is just climbing and climbing and climbing. But, AMD is not my favorite. Don't really love it, but I like the company. So I do want to see them do a little bit better in their price, But yeah, relatively boring day today. Not a whole lot went on. But jumping over to our earnings now. Looking at our earnings for this week, right? We had MU report today after close. They are down quite a lot. It just completely dumped, even though they did relatively good on their earnings. So, MU not doing the best right now. This could be a good point for entry, though, as they are in a growing sector, a rapidly growing sector. So similar to like when I call those BABA, maybe just get shares or long-term calls, covered calls, whatever it may be. I'm going to go ahead and say that here with MU. Definitely could see them come back from this just because their whole sector is just absolutely firing. We have GDP quarter on quarter, and after this, we'll be jumping to our economic calendar just to take a closer look at what's going on tomorrow, because tomorrow is a pretty important day, and so is Friday for the economy. Before open, though, tomorrow we do have Walgreens reporting. So I'm gonna be watching this, right? A lot of long-term holders of Walgreens, so definitely something to watch there. Nike after close, but let's jump over to our economic calendar real quick and take a look at what's going on. So tomorrow we have durable good orders month on month. We have GDP quarter on quarter. If this comes in hot, watch the dollar a lot. It can definitely affect the stocks, but watch the dollar there. Initial jobless claims is coming out, so should be a more exciting day tomorrow. Especially in the morning. There's definitely going to be a lot more volatility in the morning, as this is, everything that's really important takes place, before open. Other than that, pretty boring day. Friday, though, we do have a lot going on, right? So we have a Fed monetary policy report at 11. So that'll affect the market, where we can trade. So just be careful of that. Chicago PMI, that's got a high volatility to affect the market somehow. Not really sure how, to be honest, but PCE definitely will affect the market. So we have PCE month on month and year on year coming out. Let's keep an eye on this. If this number's hot, you'll see the reflection on SPY. This will directly affect the S&P 500. So keeping a lookout for that. And, I wouldn't really advise day trading through the Fed monetary policy report, as, they say one thing and you see a candle hit your stop loss and hit your take profit all in 1 minute. So, definitely a lot of volatility on Friday. So just, be safe and don't over leverage yourself, and just be aware of what's going on in the market. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Trading Table. This has been Andrew and Landon. Please be sure to check out our free Discord. Link is in the description, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at market close.